other thing.
All right, here are the video games I picked up today. Excuse me. 3 Bankers boxes worth plus another box. So like 3.5 or so boxes of video games only. And this is a small amount compared to how many they could have together. Just that they're not producing as many right now. But I'm pretty excited just by looking at some of the titles. My store is going to benefit greatly from it. So that's really exciting. And then I got all of these boxes here are all Blu-rays. So 9 full boxes plus this one here is half full, almost half full. And then this one has some. So it's about 10, probably about 10 full boxes, which is great. So, but I'm really excited about the video games because this could be a game changer for my store, having the variety that these will provide, and being able to put new video games out each week. So, exciting stuff. As part of today's video, I want to share with you what sold. What's sold on eBay. I sold one, CD on Amazon here, but then so it is Tuesday. What is it? August 26th, 2025, Tuesday. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. I probably already said that. I don't know. But between Monday morning and Tuesday morning, I had 1 Amazon sale and 14 eBay sales, guys. 14. Over the weekend, I only had 9 eBay sales over the entire weekend from Friday until Monday morning. So it's strange how this stuff happens. So I started a new discount sale campaign this Sunday, yesterday. I looked at all 14 sales. Only 3 of them were part of that campaign. So it's not because of that. Sometimes sales just fly in. These are the kind of sales I would like to do daily. Now, I'm not listing enough to do this daily. But, my huge goal for me is to sell 10 a day on eBay. I'm nowhere near that because I'm not listing enough. I have now, just for the first time in a long time, gotten under 1,900 active eBay items. I have 1,894 as of right now. I remember I told you a little while back that I was always hovering around 1,920 because I would sell some and then I would list some and I'd sell some and I'd list some and it kind of balanced out. But I haven't been listing enough to keep up with the sales, which is great for now. But over the months, if I don't increase my listing amount or the amount of items I'm listing on eBay, inevitably my sales volume on eBay will slowly start to go down. So that's the challenge I have right now with eBay is I'm not finding enough items to put on eBay that are worth listing. So I'm continuing to work on that. I know that's a challenge for me right now. That sometimes I will get a bunch of stuff, some books or whatever it is, and then I'll list a bunch at once. But consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out, I'm not finding that much. So a lot of what I'm getting either people bringing it in the store for donation trade or I'm buying is mostly just going into the store with the occasional item worth selling on eBay, but it's a low percentage. And the bulk stuff that I'm buying, like today I bought the video games and I bought the Blu-rays, I doubt there's going to be anything in there worth selling on eBay. Now there might be, but I do find a few CDs in the CDs that I'm going through. I'm still going through them. I still have another, I think, 9 boxes to go. But again, it's extremely low percentage. Like I sold one of the CDs today, or this last 24 hours, was from those the CDs that I bought from my new source. But I'm not getting enough, right? It's not like I'm getting like 10 or 15 per box that I can list on eBay. It's more like 1 or 2. So it's going to end up being a very low percentage. And I was hoping there'd be more that I could sell on eBay, but that's just what it is. So I'm continuing to try to figure out a way to get more items to list on eBay. And in the meantime, putting better and better items in my store. I've been putting a lot of really good CDs that people have been buying. Just good stuff, right? But just because I've been going through a lot of CDs lately, but also other stuff as well. And now I'm going to be putting a lot more video games out. I'm still putting out my 20 Blu-rays per week, which I think is a lot. That's 80 a month, new Blu-ray titles. So anyway, so my store is great in terms of putting out great new inventory. It's just, I don't have as many customers as I would like, but it grows slowly. But I know on eBay, the customers are already there, which is why, I'm always trying to do both. So anyway, that's a struggle, but it's always nice when I get a bunch of sales on eBay like this. But anytime I do that, I always look at the numbers and go, oh, well, I got to list more. So I sold this CD lot here, which was a local buy in April, and I sold it for $42 and change. It's David Bromberg. Apparently these are valuable. I vaguely remember listing it. It's been in there for a few months, or it was listed a few months ago. There's 5 CDs, and it sold for $42 plus shipping. And then this is a second Sandra Brown book lot that I sold. I sold one yesterday. I'm sorry, over the weekend. Sandra Brown. This one happens to have mostly paperbacks and 4 hardcovers. There's 18 books. The other one that I sold was all hardcovers. And this one sold for $27.19. This is a donation back in May. The rest of the sales were individual items. So this book, which is Descent of Man by Darwin from 1880s, I believe. And this was a donation last year, and this sold for $38.80. This book called Hackmaster Dungeon Module, Isle of Death, etc. sold for $19 plus shipping. This is signed by Jimmy Carter. Everything to Gain. This came from a donation. This sold for $24.84. That one sells pretty regularly on eBay. This is what is this book? Sold for $22.17. It is signed by Richard Armour, Writing Light Verse. This is from 1947. So some nice sales. And then I sold a bunch of individual CDs. This is the one CD this is the one sale from here that is from that recent CD buy back in July. And it is a Spanish language, I think it's from Spain, Phobia, from the 1990, sold for $29.99. They're pretty rare, their CDs. I sold this one, wasn't even worth it. Sold it for next to nothing. This one sold for $27. Pretty Maids All in a Row soundtrack, $27 plus shipping. Really cool older soundtrack CD. This one I think is K-pop, but I'm not 100% sure. The Fourth Movement. Sold it for $12.50 plus shipping. This is a trade. Schoolhouse Rock from a lady that donated stuff. This only sold for $4.99, but I knew it would sell, so I listed it and it sold pretty quickly. This is a Che Guevara VHS tape that sold for $4.98 plus shipping. I've had this listed for a very long time. I'm always glad to sell off older items. This book was from my second bookstore, Wilderness Champion, Joseph Wharton Lippincott, sold for $20 plus shipping. What year is this from? 1944. It says 7th Impression. There's photos in here, or I'm sorry, drawings, illustrations, vintage illustrations. And then the last one that sold, which just came in as I was grabbing the rest of them, is this Going for Broke Eddie Grant CD that was from those 5 Gaylord only pallets. So it sold for $17.74 plus shipping. And then I sold this George Jones and Tammy Wynette CD for $5.70 on Amazon. That was the only Amazon sale in the last 24 hours. So, the bottom line is, and it's pretty logical, that if you want to sell a lot on eBay, it can be on Amazon as well, but let's just talk about eBay. If you want to sell a lot on eBay, whatever it is, if you want to sell 1 a day, 3 a day, 10 a day, 40 a day, whatever it is, you pretty much have to list at least that many per day or more. And I would say more, especially when you're starting out. If you want to sell 10 a day, I'd recommend listing 20 a day to sell those 10 a day. You're going to get better and better at figuring out what actually sells. Stuff that sells faster, stuff that takes longer but sells for a high profit, stuff that sells quickly and for a high profit, or quickly and for a lower profit, etc. But if you want to sell a certain amount per day, 5 a day, I recommend listing 10 a day. It's not an exact science, but it's going to be helpful. So if you want to sell, just using the number 10 because it's easier to do, that's 70 a week new listings. Do you have to do 10 every single day? No. Can you do 70 in one day and be done? Yes. Can you do, I don't know, list 3 days and be fine? Yeah. You could list 10 every day, whatever. But if your goal is to list 10 a week, break it down, say 70 a week. I'm sorry, 10 a day, which is 70 a week. And I mean every day, right? Every day of the week. So that's 300 a month. Then break it down. Well, how many do I need to list? Some people say you have to list every single day. I mean, it's a good habit to get into, but I would focus more on the amount that you want to list on average per day, and then break that down. And if you prefer to do it every day, great. If you want to get it done in a couple of days, then do that. In one day, whatever it is, you just need to have enough inventory. But again, don't get crappy inventory just to hit the number. Get good inventory, i.e. good quality inventory is something that you list that someone's going to buy, hopefully soon, and hopefully for what you're asking or pretty close. If you're asking $30 and it sells for $30, great. If you're asking 30 and it ends up selling for 25, not bad. But if it ends up selling for $5, then it probably wasn't a good item, right? And it took a long time to sell because then you had to discount it and all that kind of stuff, run sales, which happens, right? Everybody, whether you've been doing this for 2 months or whether you've been doing this for 20 years, you're never going to know everything, but you're certainly going to know a lot after doing it for a year or two. And just pay attention to what sells and what doesn't. So yeah, I'm working on it. Work in progress to find more items to list on eBay for sure. But thanks for watching, guys.